We're here in Cannes and we're standing on the pier with a big GRAN TURISMO poster behind us because we're promoting our movie, GRAN TURISMO, which is the story of Jann Mardenborough, who was a young guy who was so good at racing in the game that he actually ended up podiuming in Le Mans, because my character Darren Cox comes up with this idea, Danny comes up with this idea to basically take kids from the race game and put them into cars, real cars, and after months of training he podiumed at Le Mans. So it's really a movie for dreamers. We have this really authentic, true story with a heart in the middle of it, and it's which I think is an awesome combination, you know. The action sequences, I mean, our director, you know, Neill Blomkamp, who's an amazing visual director, epic visual director, he basically shot everything for real in the cars, on the tracks. So if you're a race fan, I think this is about as close to like what it would feel like to really be in the cars, on the tracks, and in the movie. And if you're somebody who wants, you know, that kind of story of like, you know, there's a great story behind it. So for everyone. So, you know, the big screen is where you're going to get the biggest experience from it.
We're here in Cannes celebrating film GRAN TURISMO. It comes out in August. The exciting thing about the film is it's a true story and it's unbelievably emotional. I mean, Jann fought and worked so hard to get where he is. His journey is unbelievably heartwarming. It was more Jann's journey and Jann's story for me that got me interested in the project than the cars, which feels a little bit like sacrilege to say. So the cars came second, and obviously it was unbelievable, and that is obviously the pull for most people, is the adrenaline, the excitement, all of that stuff is there. But the exciting thing for me is just how emotional this film is, and I think that is going to catch a lot of people by surprise. I was in the cars the entire time, going 200 miles an hour. There's nothing, all of that adrenaline, that speed that you feel, all of it's real. I mean, there's nothing that's green screen. We were in those cars, going those speeds the entire time. You feel like the burn of the rubber. You feel when I'm sweating, when you feel the G-force on my face. All of that is real. So for anybody that loves cars, any petrol heads, you're gonna love it. And as I said a minute ago, I think for other audiences, the story is A-class.
We're here in Cannes. We are promoting this amazing movie GRAN TURISMO. Very excited to be here. This is almost an un-airbrush action adventure. It really is brilliant because it's inspiring for kids, you know, the ones that play the video games. You know, this is a true life story of a kid that plays a video game and then suddenly becomes a real life racing car driver. You know, we all want inspiration and hope. This is it. But it's real and it's raw. You know, the director is formidable. He takes no prisoners, and it's got a big heart to it as well. It's really immersive and it's intense, and I think it's old school to go back to the movie theatres and really get immersed in it. You get the full experience.
Right now we're at the Carlton Pier in Cannes during the film festival, and we have a little press event for GRAN TURISMO, which is coming out in August. The experience of filming this movie, even though I had just a real small part, was so unique, and from so many different countries, people came into this movie and realized this movie. I read the script and I was like, this can't be a true story. This sounds kind of ridiculous at first, but then when you find out the real Jann Mardenborough and his story, it's really nice to follow these characters in the film.
When I got handed the script from Sony, I didn't think you could make a film out of Gran Turismo. It didn't make sense because it's a racing simulator. And then when I read the script, I couldn't believe how smart the movie was at making a video game film and making a true story that is biographical. I'd never seen that combination before. So it's a story of Jann Mardenborough, who went from racing Gran Turismo in his parents' basement to podiuming at Le Mans through, never having a driver's license, really. It's kind of an amazing story. We had 26 race cars going to 7 or 8 different racetracks around the world. Each one of those has their own mechanic crews. So it's incredibly real-world photography, and you can feel that visceral realism in the way that it's shot. So I think watching it on a large screen in a theater, you're going to feel this sense of sort of blood and sweat of the way that it was made. When we were shooting the film, there was an F1 race at the Hungaroring because we shot at the Hungaroring. So other than that, I haven't been to one before. So Monaco, the Monte Carlo F1, when I was growing up in South Africa, it was always like the favorite Formula One race. So I'm pretty excited to see it in real life.
Camera for a second, here we go.